And the technology is it goes by your fingerprint, biometric. Now, if you want your wife to drive the car, you override your fingerprint, so her fingerprint, so it recognizes your fingerprint and her fingerprint. So if anybody else goes in there to put their finger there, the car won't start. So they're showing you how to, so that the next thing is the chip. That's the next thing. Go ahead.
It says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666.
And what is it? You have the paper. The last number is stigma, which is Greek for 6. I'm going to let the brother read it. And we went through this before. Go ahead.
This is stigma, because the number of the beast is chi psi stigma. That's 666. And then the last number, which is 6, is stigma. It says stigma, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name of the stamp or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods.
Yeah, so that hasn't changed. So they're actually going to actually put an imprint in you. Like the word mark, the word mark in the from the Greek is charagma, which means an imprinted mark, or imprinted mark in your hand, or imprinted stick in your hand. So the same thing with stigma. The number 6 is a Greek, from the Greek stigma. And 6, by the way, that's where you get the word sex. That's where you get the word scissors. 6, sex, and scissors is the same word. It means to cut. All right? Is that it on that? Yeah, that was all right. That's it on Revelation 13, right? Okay, now let's go to the next chapter. Yep.
Revelation 14:1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of the harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the 4 beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000.
Yeah, that's why you see Jakes when we speak, they'll walk by, they'll be in the military, they'll walk by, Esau walk by, Jake come up and try to figure it out, and they can't get it because they're not part of the 144,000. So the song is this truth, the knowledge of this truth. What we're teaching you every week and all on the highways and the byways, we're singing that song. Now go from there to Matthew's the 11th chapter. You know what I want in the market. The market, it's around about the, I believe it's a 19, it's right around there. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 11, verse 16. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows, and saying, we have piped unto you, and you have...
That's us. We're calling unto our fellows. Who are our fellows? Our fellow saints, our fellow Israelites, when we go into the marketplace, which is the highways and the byways. Go ahead.
And saying, we have piped unto you, and you have not danced.
Right. When we go down there, these jakes, at one time, at Israel was a big thing. Everybody was in the Israel. That was a thing to get into. But then it faded with Jake. You know when Jake gets into this? When all hell started breaking loose. If something major happens, then they're going to be looking to go back to them YouTube videos. And let me go there. I got to go to this camp, and I got to go to that camp. They're going to be looking for they're going to be looking for the men of the Lord to get the scoop, so to speak. The new news. What's going to happen next? Go ahead.
It says, we have mourned unto you, and you have not lamented. For John came neither eating.
In other words, we came unto you with a truth, and you were supposed to react in a positive manner to this truth. What's the positive manner in the way you're supposed to act? You're supposed to come to this truth. That's why Solomon, give me that in Solomon, was that Solomon, Song of Solomon, the 8th chapter, if I'm not mistaken? He said the same thing. What verse you going to start at? Is that the one where it says we went out in the streets? There's one that said we went out in the streets. Give me that one first. Give me that one first and then go to Song of Solomon 8.
Songs of Solomon chapter 3 verse 1. By night on my bed I sought him whom my soul loveth. I sought him but I found him not. I will rise now and go about the city in the streets.
Go about this. So this is a guy, and that, you know what? How I came into the truth? I actually looked for the truth. I said, what's the truth? And I used to walk in the city looking for the truth, and I found it. I literally did that. The way Solomon is writing it. I actually walked around looking for the truth. Go ahead.
I will rise now and go about the city in the streets and in the broad ways. I will seek him whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not. The watchmen that go about the city found me.
The watchmen that go about the city found me. We're the watchmen. That's why you're supposed to be out there on the highways and the byways. So when one of the elect walk by, he's looking for the truth, like I did at one time. He's going to stumble across the watchman. And the watchman is going to lay the truth out to him. Go ahead.
To whom I said, saw ye him whom my soul loveth? It was but a little that I passed from them, but I found him whom my soul loveth. I held him and would not let him go until I had brought him into my mother's house and into the chamber of her that had conceived me. I charge thee, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, by the roes and by the hinds of the field, that you stir not up nor awake my love till he please.
That means, you know what that means? That means once you get this truth and you find out that the white man is an Edomite and he's a devil, you might want to go out and start killing devils. Well, you're not supposed to do that. All right, that's why it said, wake him not up until he be pleased. In other words, this is the Most High is going to come down and do the work. He's going to cause the angels to sound the trumpet, so to speak. Now let's go to 8.
Songs of Solomon chapter 8 verse 1. Oh, that thou wert as my brother that sucked the breast of my mother.
Who are the breasts of your mother? These scriptures. Go ahead.
When I should find thee without, I would kiss thee. Yea, I should not be despised.
We shouldn't. When we bring you this truth, Jake bucks up. What you talking about, brother? You mean Esau can't, white man can't make it? No, that's not Esau. That's Japhet. Hey, Japhet. You mean to tell me we can have more than one woman? Nah, I ain't with that. Well, I got scriptures from the Quran that I can mix with it, and we can get to. No, we ain't dealing with that. Go ahead.
I would lead thee and bring thee into my mother's house.
And then you got guys that receive the breast. Instead of sucking on the breast, they trying to bite the nipple off. You know, guys that receive the truth and say, well, look, I went through Revelation in the 9th chapter, and that locust is talking about real locusts. And I ain't budging. Go ahead.
I would lead thee and bring thee into my mother's house. Who would instruct me? I would cause thee to drink of spiced wine of the juice of my pomegranate. His left hand should be under my head, and his right hand should embrace me. I charge you, O daughter of Jerusalem, that you stir not up, nor awake my love until he please.
He said that again the second time. Once you get this truth, you can't go crazy with the truth. You can't bug out with the truth. You can't go around knocking people out with the truth or driving in